to do the shuffle. Do the shuffle. Do the shuffle. We have the word hide here, playing hide and seek, hiding in plain sight. Someone is going back again. This is the recidivism card to take a peek. So either someone's going back to the drawing board and taking another look at the whole scenario, or it's a nosy neighbor that's around that might be coming back to try to gain some more insight or some more information. We've got a candle needing to either, I was having a little hiccup with this one, ignite the need to start at a hospital, maybe incite the need to stay at a hospital. Maybe it is someone's wish to be able to healing this fight, or using kids' gloves regarding, this is scene 1, act 2 or whatnot. It's everyone knows their place, everyone has a role, the actors in the situation. So maybe they're trying to light the fire under the hospital to get somebody to fight the actors, to make it seem like maybe they're not mentally well. So just be mindful of people just doing bizarre things and just ignore it. Could have something to do with a male seahorse, someone who takes everything that the females give him in order to produce it and grow it and release it when he feels it's right. There could be someone who's got something of yours, like some kind of piggy bank. This is a piggy bank. And they're trying to decide when it is that they're going to give it to you. Or a wealth of knowledge. There was someone I dated and had a nonprofit, and I wanted to know, how did you set up your nonprofit? Can you tell me how to do that? And he goes, well, I can only answer you if you ask me the questions. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to ask you the questions if I know nothing about it and what the steps are? It just didn't make any sense to me. It was then when I found out or realized where his mindset really was, and it wasn't in helping. That's for sure. I mean, for me, obviously, I'm the type of person, like, if you want to know something, I'll just start at the beginning and I'll just tell you exactly how to do it just so you could do it yourself. I mean, they say that, you should teach someone how to fish, not just keep handing things to people. You need to stop doing that. I don't know why she does that. I think it's just, there's nothing she needs. She has food, water. She usually doesn't go outside yet, so... Anywho, we've got rabid as our overall energy. Someone is really upset, mad, pissed off. Maybe they got something from somebody. He should have kept it covered, right? Or demanded it be kept covered. Just saying. They say, I read somewhere that people in their 50s are the highest cases of attracting HIV at this moment. Who's to say if it was stuff that was going on in the 40s, when they were 40 years old, maybe they were experimenting with the whole upside down pineapple scenarios, and then they discovered, oh great. Maybe they're thinking because they're postmenopausal. Is that the word? Postmenopausal, that they can't get pregnant. So then what's the harm in having a little fun without? Come on, folks. Come on. We've got a plane. Someone's traveling in a plane, going over water. We have a magician. We have a test. Testing a magician. Testing the illusion. Blueberry. Entitlement. We've got that candle coming out again. Energy, flickering, romance, dim, ignite, melt, honoring ancestors. Candle magic. So someone's going somewhere in a plane because they feel like they're entitled to do this candle magic. Maybe someone got pregnant and now they're wanting to do candle magic over the pregnancy. They're angry and upset. Peace. Oh, I didn't do my split of the deck cards, and that's where I'm pulling them from. Well, anywho, I guess that will be the split of the deck cards. So someone's mad. Someone's entitled. Someone's doing candle magic. Not too sure how candle magic works or how you do it. But I've heard about it. I don't know. I had, there was this one lady and she had told me that I needed to light 2 different colors of candles, but you only light it with a white candle. I don't know if that would have been considered some kind of candle magic. I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, so we've got the number 12 here with peace. I noticed that this is the only card that I had changed the bottom from 12 to peace. But I'm wondering if I should go back and change all of them to the word of what they mean rather than just the word of what they are. It also has the olive branches back there behind it. Maybe someone wants to come out and apologize for going overseas and getting candle magic done over a pregnancy, or maybe some kind of test, or maybe they were being tested in doing that, but they felt entitled to do this. So now they want to make peace with it. We've got pixie. Maybe they did this over someone who was like a pixie, someone who was lighthearted, caring, childlike, playful, making a permanent decision on a temporary emotion, playing stupid games, getting stupid prizes, taking a huge chance with life as itself. I mean, that's to get a thrill. I mean, why do people do that? Broom, sweeping something, cleaning up something, moving things, delivery. A sweeping delivery? I guess we'll just keep going on before I do the guessing. We've got a warrior. The warrior's fighting battles in her sleep. She has no idea that she's even doing that. And we've got the frother, mixing things up, making things bigger than they are, adding air to a situation, blending. Maybe someone wanted to deliver this warrior to someone, to the Scorpio. We have a scorpion, just wants to be left alone overall. Just leave it alone. Now someone's haunted. Maybe that was part of the candle magic. They wanted to haunt somebody, the pixie. Cactus, prickly situation. Maybe they're going to stick somebody with something. Attachments. Wow, that's fitting. There was this time that I was moving my storage unit and somehow something got stuck into my rear, my side cheek. and my back cheek. Anywho, it got this huge, it had a huge reaction, and I assumed it was like a bee. That maybe I sat on a bee, or I got bit by a spider when I sat down to use the restroom. I didn't know what it was, but the reaction was about this big. So who's to say, you get stuck with something and then now you've got some kind of pin or needle. A decision has to be made regarding this delivery, the delivery of this needle and the bandage, trying to cover it up. Someone has a wound. Making a decision about a wound and hide and seek. Hiding a wound that got bigger and bigger and bigger. Trying to cover the fact that they needed to fight. I've got exclamation coming out on top of a sinkhole. They made a huge, huge error in judgment. The whole bottom fell out. Like huge, because we've got the exclamation, and a sinkhole is already a huge problem. The bottom is completely dropping out of this situation. And it's right there over the Scorpio. I tried to tell my coworker at work, you're going to end up with a situation that you'd had no point or a situation too big, you're not going to be able to handle it. Something that you're going to get far deeper in than you can even imagine, and something's going to happen. You're not going to know how to get out of it. Oh, my uncle helps me. He's a priest. All right. That was part of my leave of absence reasons, because I could not be around that kind of stuff. It was too mind-bending for me to even understand or realize that that sort of thing was happening to the point where it was actually real. For me, I thought it was just like things people spoke about, or just it was in the movies. It's like, no. My uncle helps me. He's a priest. I think that's the thing that threw me over. Like, serious? Bless those who curse you, for you will be blessed. Of course, that's not why you bless others who curse you. I mean, you're not doing it because you want to be the blessed at the end, but you are doing it because it's like you literally care about those people. These people are haunted now. And maybe it was because you blessed them. Maybe it was because you prayed for them. Maybe it was because you were the one who was just like, it doesn't matter what you do to me. I still love you. I still want the best for you. That pixie mentality, that kind-hearted mentality of, you can make stupid choices, but it was the choice that was stupid. It's not you who's stupid. The choice was dumb. You're not dumb. You know what I mean? There's no one who's perfect. And the best way to learn a situation or learn a lesson is by making a choice, right? But to make it easier, the easiest choice is never the best choice. Sometimes the hardest choice or the hardest decision is the best choice. It just depends on who's making that choice. But usually the decision, whether you go mind over matter or using your heart, it's like you can never go wrong with using your heart. Yeah, sometimes you could get bit in the behind by making the choice of going with your heart, meaning like you care about the individual and you care about everyone who's involved and you care about yourself. But sometimes when you have to walk away from a situation just because it is the best choice, you could care about the people all you want. Like when I was the only supervisor up front, and it was a holiday season, and I wanted to, take a break or get a new job or whatnot, but I felt bad because they didn't have another manager up there. So I stayed. I wanted to stay until they could find help, and then I had to train the help because I cared. I've had several jobs where, I mean, we were laid off, but they were keeping me on to be able to help close down the company. And I stayed because I cared. Sure, I was taking a risk by staying long enough and not taking jobs, but it's like, you know, I committed to the role. I committed to staying here and doing what you guys need me to do. That's what I was hired to do. So sometimes, even though doesn't seem like the best decision, it is the best decision because you're honoring yourself. You're taking care of those people around, even if it is a company or an entity of meaning company. But when my health was being affected by this job, and then who's to say if my health was being affected by the stress on the job, or if my health was being affected by the candle magic allegedly, or the haunting allegedly that could have been going on by allegedly another coworker. Who's to say? But when it got to the point where I was needing a doctor's appointment to figure those things out, and the doctor said, you know what, you should probably just go on a leave of absence. Well, then it's like you have to ultimately care for your own well-being at that point. So maybe someone is upset that someone took the time out to take care of themselves, when in actuality, they wanted to actually deliver this pixie to some kind of cause. And the situation got huge because they had to now try to cover up whatever reasoning or whatnot they had for the reason for this person leaving. They create a huge problem. Past life. The person had to leave this person in the past. Bored. Maybe someone was bored with their life. We've got surfboard. We've got skateboard. One of the people who watched the channel, they suggested skateboard. I thought that was an awesome idea, so I put that down here. Thank you so much. We've got blackboard, corkboard, attaching their notes to a board of some sort. We've got a green board, a blackboard, a whiteboard, and also a cutting board. So all the boards. Or also being bored. So either writing on something or posting something, a rescue mission. Maybe someone's coming in to do a rescue mission now on this situation. They've decided. We've got a hawk. A hawk is never bothered. Maybe someone's posting ways in order to rescue other people on the situations and how they're being attacked. So all of this stuff going on before was someone's past life, and now going forward that someone is posting about how to save themselves or how to save others while they're in this place of being attacked by all these, I want to say, flying monkeys. And that's making someone angry. They didn't expect this person to make it through whatever it was that they were doing. They thought they were going to deliver this individual, but they healed. The Medusa, victim blaming. Blaming the victim. Medusa didn't want any part of what was happening to her, but the person that was jealous of her because of whatever happened, they was like, oh, I'm going to protect you. And in the midst of trying to protect Medusa, supposedly, I don't know how the entire story is. Apparently, there's a couple versions. But she was trying to protect Medusa, and she's like, okay, well, anyone who wants to love her, she's going to turn them into stone. Or anyone who wants to, hurt her, she can turn them into stone. But now, just like the Midas touch, you try to protect yourself to the point where it's like now everything is just cold. You can't have relationships because you're trying to protect yourself. Well, that's not a way to live. What happened to that pixie kind of personality? So maybe they were trying to hide the victim. Violin, exaggerated stories, a beautiful symphony. It could be two different things. You're playing the violin. Wah, 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 wah. It's like, really? It's like you have to hear the same song and dance every single time. As soon as someone talks about something, they tell the same old story, which is what I've been doing in these readings. I apologize, but those are my life circumstances. And I share the things that have happened because that way other people, when they realize that, it happens to other people and this is how you deal with that, then maybe you can make it through. I'm not sharing the stories for someone to have pity or be sad for me, because apparently if we believe in past lives, then we may believe in the fact that we've come to this life with a storyline to help us progress or evolve into the next life of what we want, what we need to learn. So I'm not sad about the stories or the experiences that I've had in the past, because I know that they all have purpose and meaning, and that's what the Bible even says. There's purpose and meaning in all things. The way you interpret those messages is on you. What's your decision? Mind over heart. Are you going to listen to the message and what you're being told that they mean, or are you going to check in with yourself and see what they mean for you? Transferring the knowledge. Just like the word bored. The word bored can have several different meanings. Just like these cards, a lot of these words, they all have several different meanings. It just depends on the way you look at them. Such is life. How are you going to play your violin? I don't play violin. I never learned how to play violin. I chose the flute in school. And even then, I didn't even learn how to do the flute. Not a clue. The grass is greener on the side you choose to water. You can't look at someone else's yard and say, oh, I want to go over there now because it looks so great. No, you need to tend to your own garden. Tend to your own grass. If you messed up your grass, then find out how to do it. Maybe that's why these people are cursing others. Maybe that's why they're haunting others. Because they like the way the pixie is living their life. Well, if you want to live your life like a pixie, then go ahead and live your life like a pixie. You don't have to take it from someone else who is living like a pixie. Come on now. In some cases, people probably think that they need to destroy the pixie because it's like they think that there's no way that they could ever get there, or they're jealous about it. That's what they want. But I have to say, in the same regard, sometimes they don't even know that that's what they want, and that's why they don't like it so much. And that's why they want to destroy it, because that is exactly where they want to live. And I'm saying that because when I was hurt and sad and just feeling woe is me at the violin about not having a relationship or not having anyone who has ever loved me, there was a time when I would focus on the fact that, you know what, I'm just so sad because I don't have a relationship, or I don't have a husband, or I don't have, what it is that I thought that would make me feel whole. But and then I would look at other people who are in couples and I'd be like, oh. I would see people out to lunch and I'd be like, oh. And I would see people who are wearing matching outfits and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, really, you got to match your clothes? Well, hello, I was hurt. I was still trying to, well, I always was advocately always trying to heal myself. So when you're in the midst of healing or you're still hurt, then that's where your mind is going to be. But when you're at the point where you're healed and you have understanding about things and you have acceptance about things and you take responsibility for your part in things, then you're able to live in that pixie mentality where you're just happy about things and you're happy for other people who have found that. Why wouldn't you be happy for others who are happy? Why wouldn't you? I can't tell you the many times that people have said, oh, I just got a promotion and I'm so excited for them because it's exciting. And they're like, well, you didn't get promoted. I said, I understand, but who cares? I'm excited for you. That's great news. When people open a business, I'm like, wow, this is so great. This is so wonderful to be part of opening a new business. Well, you're not opening the new business. I know, but it doesn't matter. I could still be happy for someone else. Heck, I'm even happy for people who get to work in air-conditioned buildings when they get to work in air-conditioned buildings. That's exciting. When you're out in the heat. It's all in the way that you water your garden. You tend to your own mind. Is it woe's me or is it a symphony? It's all part and orchestrated. Perhaps whatever was going on behind the scenes has also all been orchestrated. But yet, here you are, still tending to your own grass. Because whatever it is that you have to tend to your own grass outweighs everything else anyone could ever do. Or the circumstance that could be had or orchestrated. UFO, maybe someone thinks that that whole mentality is something of the alien nature. Maybe someone's going to get picked up. Maybe it's something that just from left field. Maybe it's just a higher viewpoint. Who knows? Someone who's able to adapt to their surroundings and their circumstances. Something, even if they're left out. Maybe they're even being singled out. These people can't make anything stick to this individual to the point of taking them down or making them feel down or stay down. They don't have to take anything with them. They're very happy being on their own, enjoying nature. That's just part of their camp. There could be someone out there who is deciding to jump camps, right? They want to jump the fence, go into somebody else's mindset, and that's fine. Do the work. Got a situational ship here. We've got an eggplant. Some kind of misunderstanding, perhaps. Some kind of portraying it as something else. Being used as something else. Eggplants is used for a meat substitute. But did you know it's actually a fruit or a berry? I didn't know that. It's born from the flower's ovaries, which makes it a berry. I was surprised to find that out. It's also the emoji symbol for something. Got the recidivism, going back to something. Tuning out the world could have something to do with music. We've got a ruler here. Measuring, taking measure. Could also be a CEO or a president. I didn't mean to say that, but I guess it could be. CEO, manager. We've got a castle here. Wow, that's interesting. We've got a ruler and a castle. So maybe there's someone from another land who is an actual ruler who resides in a castle. Sprung, this person is either sprung or they're going to be showing themselves quite surprisingly. They're going to be a little bit distracted. The world is your oyster. Opening up the entire world and maybe their viewpoint of things. Maybe someone is not having such a narrow mindset. Maybe they're able to open their minds to see things a little bit differently than how they had seen them before. And maybe that has to do with some kind of relations or whatnot. It's like, don't take your relationships so seriously to the point where it devastates you that it didn't work out, because perhaps that relationship was only meant to be some kind of purpose, some kind of learning example, some kind of situation that you were involved in, and you can't beat yourself up for making the choices that you did, because you made the best choice of what you thought at the time. Take responsibility in the choice that you made, and let's move on. Heal yourself from that. Maybe the board is the center card of this entire read. That's the central, everything that's going on around just being bored. Maybe someone was just bored. They didn't even really make decisions based on anything else other than that they were bored. They didn't think about the long terms. They didn't think about the mind over matter. They didn't think about anything. They just thought about right now because they're just bored. What can I do to entertain myself? I mean, that's one way to live in the moment, but even though they say live in the moment, it still determines your next step in life. Your decisions now will always determine your next decision, what needs to be made. So make the decision right the first time as far as going with your heart. Sometimes I was going to say what doesn't hurt others, but sometimes when we make decisions that are the right decisions, sometimes it does hurt another individual. Meaning they're not getting their way because they're entitled. And they feel that they're entitled to something, so it might hurt them in some kind of regards because they're not getting what they want. But intentionally harming another person just because you can, that's not okay. Just because you're bored, that's not okay. It's not. Ever. I don't know why I'm thinking about plants right now, maybe because the grass. But there are a lot of people who pride themselves in not eating meat and being vegetarian, and they're saying, well, I don't want to harm animals because, they have feelings too. And yes, they do. But they may not be aware that plants have feelings also. They found scientific knowledge on it. And when they cut grass, it's the grass's way of telling others, grass, what's on the horizon. It's like a warning symbol. This is what's coming. It's almost like their tears. It's a warning system. It's an alarm. It's like, I'm being cut right now. Beware, beware. There are tools that you can attach to plants or objects, and it all emits some kind of sound. It's like that's their melody. That is the energy that's running through them. And it comes out with beautiful music. But sure, people make choices based on ignorance. That's why they say ignorance is bliss, because it's like if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what harm you're causing in others, of course you're going to be ignorant to it and you're going to enjoy your decision in the midst of it. But once you understand, you no longer can make those choices. And I guarantee you that the choices that you've made in one regard, as I said, it transfers into other areas of life. Life is not as complicated as people want it to be, sorry to say. Temptation is not as smart as it wants people to believe it is. Like you're getting tricked. No, you're not getting tricked, because if you really tune into your heart and your own discernment, there is no tricking that. Sure, you could be naive to the fact, which is the Pixie's case, maybe Medusa's case as well. But had the person who was trying to trick the individual actually be connected to their discernment and actually cared, there would be no need to even worry about being naive. It would be seen as something cute and cherished. But again, the person who is trying to trick others is obviously hurting and needing to be healed on some level. Remember the big sinkhole? People harm people because they're hurting. And it goes back to the story of maybe they don't even know that they're hurting. Maybe they don't even know that that's why they're harming others. But I'm telling you, if you're harming another individual, it's because you are hurt and your feelings are valid. You just need to work on those and process them. And maybe anyone who's not hurting other people and is being hurt, use it as your mindset and understand that that individual is hurting others because they are hurt. I'm not saying to give an excuse or a reason to go back to that individual, because that will just destroy you. That is where you need to walk away and let that person get the help that they need. But you can let them know possibly that you're only hurting other people because you're only hurting inside, and let the individual know that they deserve to be happy. And the way that they're going about avoiding being happy is just going to be more of a detriment. And they don't even realize that, because they think they're just dealing with right now. No, you're dealing with eternity. You're dealing with your next steps. It's important to be mindful of that. That's why they say that your current time frame is your past and your future all at the same time. Because that's what you're navigating in the current moment. And they also say that anxiety is the knowing of the future and planning and thinking about the future. But if you're only thinking about the positivity of the future and not the details of the future and how those things are going to work out, and you only think about the choices and the decisions you need to make in the moment, if you base those decisions on truth, on heart, on what is good, then where else can your future lead but to those same places? So there's no need for anxiety on those, because you're making concrete, good decisions in the moment. When you do your best, there's nothing better than that. Absolutely not. Your best is your best. Get educated if you want more. That's all I have to say. With that being said, folks, I hope you make it a great day. I hope you find something in it that you could focus on being the best. And take care.